So you're telling me that my chat to see fair cookie that I made her into a
Yes,
pedophile
yeah,
is
good
you
pedophile
know
slash is me.
worse
Me, the
than
good
you than
pedophiles.
a literal year old girl being sent her.
Yo,
I am worse than
I'm
that. What
15, you
is wrong with
fucking
you,
I'm 15, and I got paid to do that shit. Yo, doggy, wouldn't you accept $200
Paige?
to
Oh
to leak
no,
someone?
dude.
To leak what? To like leak what
Hold
though?
on.
To leak her nudes, to leak her nudes.
No.
Like you're a child, man. You can't do that.
I
Literally
never said I
said
do it,
you
stupid.
don't
I
know what
doggy,
is
but
defame.
Phoenix, no.
shut up before we rape you, bro.
Whoa!
What you just listened to was Roblox's most degenerate predator essentially admitting to being paid to groom and distribute the of a young girl. This dumbass brutally victimized her and thought he could get away with it. Stay tuned as Asterisk will display all the evidence and information. The guy is also blatantly lying about the victim and repeatedly mocking her after she went through fucking hell because of his bullshit. Basically, for a quick rundown, this predator calls himself Douglas. Basically, he manipulated and groomed a young girl, eventually to the point where he leaked that to numerous minors, by the way. You can also hear him, this generate, talking like,
Voice
I'm f***ing your
in the
mom right now.
back.
I'm f***ing your mom.
along with the fact he's weirded out with numerous of his friends to the point where they have blocked him. I think you basically get the point. Now, keep in mind, Douglas is a predator, not your conventional pedophile, so don't contemplate the definitions. You can basically go inside of my YouTube channel, and you can see like I made a video on a minor being a predator, and yeah, Astros, you can take the video on now. Thank you.
You might recall my previous 2 videos exposing the disgusting dangers behind games targeted specifically to children on Roblox. This included exposing individual predators themselves. While I did go over these disgusting people and their actions, a lot had happened during the time of me developing these videos and after. So I'm going to make this video going over a specific situation once again, because a ton of new information has surfaced. I'm going to briefly go over the predator in question and what he's done. In my original video, there was a situation that I covered regarding a young girl being, unknowingly to her, coerced into letting a certain individual obtain illicit and hence unlawful since she's underage photos of her. Here's how it started. I had heard claims from numerous users that a girl, who was quite underage to say the least, had photos of her leaked publicly in a Discord server, likely due to retaliation for whatever reason, due to drama, or just simply because the people did not like her. So I asked this girl in-game about the alleged leaks. First asked if it really happened, she said yes. Then she said she was indeed underage, and people would repeatedly make fun of her and mock her for it. She said she wanted to leave it in the past, as it had definitely had a toll on her mental health. So I stopped my questions there immediately. I had also asked her about it a few months prior. I thought I had lost the chat logs, which is why I asked again, but I ended up finding the original chat logs anyway. She had said that she'd been leaked before, and she acknowledges she's a minor. I asked if she meant that there were photos of her face being sent around, but she replied with body and face. She said she was screenshotted on a FaceTime call. I asked who did that, and she gave me the alias of an individual who also goes by Douglas. I found Douglas in a game shortly after. He deflects the blame onto another individual who goes by the alias Tix. However, I don't have any evidence of that being true. But for some context on who Tix is, refer to my previous 2 videos. Douglas continues and says that he doesn't want beef. But this isn't about beef, this is about downright crime. This fits a common pattern among these people. They can't discern between drama and crime. I couldn't care less about the drama. What matters here is disgusting, illegal activity. This is the guy who allegedly leaked those photos publicly. This is his profile. Watch out for this freak. You can also see people referencing Douglas when referring to the photos, and Douglas blames Tix when confronted despite zero evidence of Tix having leaked these photos. When confronted again in-game, he did not deny leaking this time. Instead, he tried to justify it. First, by claiming that he himself is also a minor. Secondly, by claiming baselessly that the girl had leaked someone else first. And thirdly, by trying to brush it off for happening 2 years ago. Firstly, it does not matter if he's also a minor himself. what he did is still disgusting, unlawful, and predatory. Predator is a general term for someone who exploits, manipulates, or victimizes others for their own benefit. It is not limited to adults. So yes, Douglas is a predator. Secondly, he claims out of nowhere that the girl leaked someone else first. Well, that's a blatant lie, and he's never provided any evidence of this whatsoever. But hold on. Even if she did leak someone else first, which she didn't, it does not justify the disgusting crimes that Douglas himself committed. What he did involves creation of, possession of, and distribution of. This is one of the most disgusting crimes a person can commit, regardless of how it started. It's also worth noting that Douglas literally confesses to what he did here. Thank you, Douglas. That makes exposing you a hell of a lot easier. But then again, what he said about her leaking someone first is a baseless accusation with zero evidence whatsoever. According to the victim, however, who has infinitely more credibility than this freak ever will, notes that Douglas had convinced her that he loved her. And then on a call, Douglas tried for over an hour to get her to do something inappropriate on the call, in which, as we know, the manipulation eventually worked. And then the rest is history. Once again, blatantly predatory behavior. Anyways, later on, when I confronted Douglas again, he further attempted to deflect the blame onto Tix, despite Douglas literally directly admitting that it was himself a day prior. He then straight up admits that he sent the to Tix, which is an admission of distribution of. Thanks again, Douglas. You're making my job and the authorities' job a lot easier here. And note, even if you went with Douglas' story of Tix having leaked the even though I have no evidence of Tix doing that, by Douglas' own false story here, he himself was the one who caused the leaks anyways. Because according to him, he sent the to the perpetrator, who then proceeded to leak it. So all Douglas is doing here is digging a deeper grave for himself. Now, once again, note, Douglas provided no evidence that Tix leaked these photos, and Tix is actively getting pissed off by Douglas baselessly lying about him. Douglas leaked these photos and victimized the girl entirely on his own. I'm just proving to you how guilty he is by pointing out all the flaws in his lies. Thirdly, as for the deflection where he tries to brush it off for happening 2 years ago, I don't think you need to be Albert Einstein to know that this does not downplay what happened in the slightest. The trauma it caused for the victim was a lifetime's worth, but I actually have something to say about this deflection, so stay tuned. Here's what's even more pathetic. An entire server of admins in the game Family Paradise were actively defending Douglas despite knowing what he's done, because my friend and I directly confronted him in-game. Now note this account, Francisco Abech 10, is me. This is not the same as this other person, Francisco Abech 17, who was making horrible comments regarding the victim. Francisco willingly gave his account away after being confronted due to how he was abusing his admin powers on it. The account was subsequently given to me, so remember, this is me, and I am not him. Now, how about I run you through how pathetic the people in this Roblox server were being? Because after our confrontation, this user here, Ross, or whatever her name is, insisted that since I was talking about the law, that she would tell me the law. But did she? Nope. She deflected away instantly when I told her to follow through on what she said and to tell me about the law. Considering this situation was mostly based in the US, which is also where most of these people reside, federal law doesn't create an exception simply because the offender is also a minor. As shown here, it prohibits knowingly receiving, distributing, or producing sexually explicit images involving a minor. The law focuses on the conduct and on the fact that a minor is depicted, not on the age of the person distributing the material. This section of federal law states that any person who uses, persuades, induces, entices, or coerces a minor to engage in sexually explicit conduct for the purpose of creating or transmitting visual depictions can be criminally punished. Once again, the statute says any person. It does not contain an exception that makes the conduct legal if the offender is also under 18. So yes, it's a crime regardless of the offender's age. So, yeah, looks like she doesn't know the law. The same girl then asked me to explain how Douglas is a predator. So I did. Please do recall the definition of a predator. She asked if Douglas shared these photos. Despite that being the topic of this whole exchange, yes, Douglas leaked the photos. Then this weirdo comes out of nowhere and asked if I was upset that I didn't see it. Because yeah, that's totally an appropriate joke to make in this type of situation. People continually kept pushing the incorrect assertion that since Douglas is under 18, he's not a predator. This other girl also asserted that the victim sent the explicit photos, knowing what could happen. But again, this is false. The victim did not send any photos. She was manipulated and coerced into inappropriate activity on a video call. I brought up the internet's most disgusting cult of predators as an example. 764. For those who don't know what this is, it's literally a satanic cult of a bunch of predators who victimize people ranging from any age, usually to the point of. There's many more videos on YouTube explaining 764 if you want to look further into it. But I need to warn you beforehand, if you are even the slightest bit sensitive to the topic, do so at your own discretion and be careful. 764 is genuinely horrible and disturbing, far worse than you think. For example, here was literally a 15-year-old girl part of this cult, who groomed a 25-year-old man into himself. This 15-year-old is a predator. And also, the founder of the entire cult itself was only 15 at the time of creating it. He's a disgusting predator himself too, for not only the individual people he himself had victimized, but for creating this cult and causing the victimizations and deaths of tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people. He got sentenced to 80 years in prison when he was only 17 years old. See how bad minors themselves can be? So Douglas, being a minor himself, does not excuse a single thing he did. He's a predator. Anyways, my example got completely ignored, predictably. It's astonishing how the Ross girl blatantly admits here afterward that what Douglas did was wrong and illegal, yet still proceeds to defend him. So these people know exactly who Douglas is. They know what he did, and they know how bad it is, but they don't care. Thus, they're literally defending a predator. The way they're defending this guy, they're literally making a mockery of thousands of victims. Thousands of victims who have either barely survived or didn't survive at all. I go on again to tell them that it was disgusting and predatory, regardless of the offender's age. They then asked why I didn't report this to the police. So obviously they're unaware that I, in fact, did already forward everything to proper authorities. Then this other girl tries downplaying what happened by asserting that things like this have already happened here. Okay? The fact that even more people were victimized by people or events stemming from this game does not make what happened to this victim any better whatsoever. It actually makes it worse, as it proves how dangerous this environment is. This also reinforces the point I made in my previous comprehensive video exposing this genre of Roblox games, where I noted how players often treat serious events like these as normal and just drama. But it is infinitely worse than that. This isn't drama, this is crime. This is disgusting, unlawful, harmful behavior. The fact that players normalize this further proves how dangerous Roblox is. This girl here again claimed that law enforcement wouldn't take action if the offender is underage. This is false. Again, referring to my previous example of 764, the founder, whom was a minor, was sentenced to 80 years in prison when he was 17. So again, it does not matter if the offender is a minor. As we went through earlier, minors can literally even victimize adults. However, the victim in this case is a minor as well, so it makes the situation worse. They proceed to ask why I bring this into a game. That's because this predator was literally in a game filled with children. So we warned the whole server who Douglas really is. They continued trying to downplay the severity of it, claiming that since they don't know each other in real life, that it's not as serious.
If that isn't the fattest load of barnacles you've ever tried to swallow, I don't know what is.
The fact that this happened online does not make it any less serious or severe. Today, a majority of grooming or victimization cases occur online, and I don't think I need to explain how bad it's gotten. Again, refer to my previous example of 764, and they say everyone will forget about it within a week. Wow. Try telling that to the victim who was traumatized and scarred for life, and the other minors who were exposed to this content during its distribution, whom also were affected. They asked when the incident happened. I said 2 years ago, but I was actually wrong. I later found out it has still been less than a year since the incident. And then they tried downplaying it just because a lot of time has passed since the incident occurred. This doesn't matter. As I mentioned, the trauma it caused for the victim will last for a lifetime. So I brought up a quick analogy, noted that since Epstein's offenses occurred mostly over a damn decade or two ago, that by their logic, Epstein is innocent, because a ton of time has passed. So they finally gave up here. Nope, just kidding. This girl here defended Epstein, I guess. And you might be wondering if that's just satire or not. Well, considering how dedicated they were already to defending who they know as a predator, who the hell even knows? But even if she wasn't being genuine, it proves she had no response to the analogy I brought up regarding Epstein, because it completely debunks them. Now there's more. I was woken up one morning being told that there was apparently a player in-game poking fun at a different victim's trauma. I was also told that the predator who victimized this other girl was once again Douglas. What a shocker if true, huh? I don't even want to imagine how much worse this guy will be as an adult. Anyway, after hearing this, I joined a game to ask this girl what had happened. In doing so, this is where I learned that Douglas had allegedly victimized this girl as well. I'd also learned that someone else had been picking on her trauma during an in-game conflict. I couldn't verify this at first, so after asking this guy in-game some questions, because he still trusts me, he said some very suspicious things. Firstly, saying publicly in the server that something is coming regarding the girl. Secondly, acknowledges that he's seen the of this victim, and also doesn't deny picking at the victim's trauma. He even asked me if I want to see this. This automatically fulfilled every red flag possible. Why the fuck would he ask me if I want to see this illegal content? And also, why would he ask that question if he doesn't already possess it? Here is his Roblox account. Beware of this guy too. Note, interpret this however you will. I can't say for certain that he possesses. However, the evidence is substantial and speaks for itself. But regardless, picking at a victim's trauma to try and hurt them is absolutely disgusting. There's no defense for that. My crew and I, including my friend Zyron, had confronted Douglas directly a couple times on Discord. Not much came from doing so that I haven't already covered here. So I'll just recommend that you watch Zyron's video on the topic when it releases. But
Yo, shut up. No, next up, bro. You're so
I'm gonna be quitting so I
Did you guys see what I said in the chat?
so I can escape your ugly voice. Now,
Yes, bro,
have fun
quit,
being
quit.
exposed on YouTube, you son of a.
Oh yeah, no, you're bro. He's going you. Yeah, you're bro.
Yo, bro, I didn't. Yeah, I never diminished. Oh, 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 my profile is a naked girl and a naked boy getting.
What the actual did you just say to me right now?
as a reminder, everything's been forwarded to authorities. See you next time. One thing I quickly wanted to note, by the way, a predator whom was discussed in my original video saw it, which really hurt his ego, so he now plans to lie about me by utilizing AI. This includes stumping as low as to want to generate fake explicit imagery and text messages involving me to make me look bad. So keep this in mind. If any development stems from this, I'll handle it properly along with my crew and authorities if necessary. Anyway, see ya.